Hi, welcome to Render Island. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create face filters using the EasyAR Face Filter demo. After you import your EasyAR package to Unity, it will show you a menu scene like this. First, you should go to the Assets EasyAR Scenes folder and double-click Face Filter Scene, which will load the face filter scene. Click AR Session Origin Game Object. You can see that there's a component called Switch Face. With this component, you just need to put your face mask prefab and icon if you have them, and it will automatically create a button for selecting your mask from the menu at the bottom of the screen. For example, let's play the current scene. You can see that there are 3 buttons created for their respective face filter elements. Now, let's see how to create a face filter mask. There are 2 ways to create a face filter mask. You can either create a face filter with face paint or create a face filter with face mesh. Let's see how to create a face filter with face paint. This tiger face is a good example for a face filter made with face paint. To create face paint, we should identify what exact face position needs to be painted. For that, we use this reference face texture. Inside Assets, in the EasyAR Textures Face Filter folder, there is a texture called Face UV. Let's take a look at this reference Face UV texture. Once you apply this reference UV to our face, we can identify which points include eyes, which points include the nose, the mouth, and so on. Let's create this face paint prefab. First, go to the EasyAR Prefabs Face Filter folder. There is a prefab called Reference Face Paint. You should add this prefab into our Switch Face component. For that, select the AR Session Origin Game Object and go to the Switch Face component under Face Prefabs. Add a new element to the list by clicking the plus button. Drag and drop this reference face paint into Mask Prefab. Leave the mask icon as none. Then, go to File and click Build Settings. Choose your build platform, either Android or iOS, and build your app. Once you build the app, you can see your face with paint like this. Take a screenshot if you want to remember the exact position you need to paint your face. Okay, now we can design our actual face paint. For that, you can use a design tool like Photoshop or Illustrator. I chose Photoshop in this case and opened up Photoshop on my computer. Then I opened my reference face UV texture in Photoshop. Then I create a new layer and paint our mask on this new layer using the brush tool. We will know which point needs to be painted according to our previous screenshot of the face UV reference. After painting your mask, disable the reference layer from the Layers tab and then select your mask layer as a PNG. Go to File and click Save As. I am saving my face paint as Tiger Face, then importing this file to my Unity project. I imported my Tiger Face paint into Assets in the EasyAR Textures Face Filter folder. I have designed 2 textures for Android and iOS, as the face points in Android are a bit lower than in iOS, and I want to build on both these platforms. I will then go to EasyAR, Prefabs, and go to the Face Filter option. I then duplicate the reference face paint prefab by pressing Command D or Control D in Windows. Take your duplicate face reference prefab into the hierarchy scene. Then rename it as your face mask name. I renamed it as New Tiger Face. Then I select New Prefab in Inspector and go to the Material component. You should drag and drop your paint and texture mask into the albedo map under the main maps. We should then move our new prefab into the prefabs folder. Go to the Easy AR Prefabs Face Filter folder. Drag and drop your new prefab, which in this case is the New Tiger Face prefab, into this folder. After that, I delete the New Tiger Face prefab from the hierarchy window. I then select the AR Session Origin prefab under Inspector, go to Switch Face component and go to the last element. There you have elements with the reference face prefab I added before. Remove it and drag and drop your new face prefab into that slot. In my case, I added my New Tiger Face prefab from the prefabs folder. Then you can add a new button icon for the Switch Face button. I have already created one for the tiger face, which can be found by clicking Easy AR, Sprites, and then Face Filter under Assets. I've named it RI Tiger. I drag and drop that icon sprite into my mask icon space. Don't forget to change the texture type to Sprite 2D. Okay, now you have completed adding your mask into Easy AR. Now you can build the app by going to File and clicking Build Settings. Check if your face filter is in the scenes in build. If not, drag and drop your face filter scene into this space. Select your desired platform, iOS or Android, then build the app. Once you build the app, select Face Filter in the menu and you can see a new fourth button added to your button menu. Press the new button in your face filter scene. You can now see your face mask live. In the next section, we are discussing how to create your face mask with Face Mesh. In this section, we will guide you on how to create a face filter with Face Mesh. First, we need to create a face mask with Face Mesh. For that, we need a 3D modeling software like Blender or Autodesk Maya. For this too, we have a reference face mesh in our project. Go to Assets, Easy AR Meshes, and click on the Face Filter folder. There, you can see an object called Sample Face Mesh. You should then import it into a 3D modeling software. In my case, I imported the Sample Face Mesh model into my Blender software. I click on File and then Import FBX. Then I provide my model path to find my face mesh and import it into Blender. I then delete the other objects in the scene. Using this face mesh, we can now design our face filter face mesh as it behaves like a real face and is used for reference. I have already created my dog face mesh using Blender. I will show it to you here by importing it into Blender. You can see that I have created a nose and two plain meshes for ears in my sample dog face mesh. Then you can delete your sample face mask reference and import your face mesh with its materials into Unity project. I imported my sample dog face mesh into the Easy AR Meshes Face Filter folder. Then I open up my face filter scene, create a new empty game object in the hierarchy window, reset a transform, and add the face tag from the tag drop-down list. Then I added my sample face mesh into the new dog face empty object as a child object. Then we can add our 3D face mesh which I created using Blender. I have already imported my dog face mesh, so I added it into the new dog face parent game object. Then you should adjust your model face mesh to fit into our sample reference face mesh. I changed some positions of my face mesh to fit into the sample face. The face size looks okay here. If you need to change the size of your face mask, you can do it as you desire to match the reference face mesh. After that, delete the reference face mesh from the hierarchy window because we only used it as a reference for our face mesh. Then, select the new dog face parent object and add an AR face component to it. Then, you need to convert your parent game object into a prefab. For that, I drag and drop my new dog face game object into my Easy AR prefabs face filter folder. Then I delete my new dog face game object from the hierarchy window. I then go back to my scene and select the AR session origin game object. In the switch face component under the face prefabs, click the plus button at the bottom of the list to add a new element. Then I drag and drop my new face prefab into the mask prefab slot. For the mask icon, I have created a sprite named RI Fox, which is in my sprite folder, and I drag and drop it into the mask icon reference. That's all you need to do. Now you can build your app by going to File and clicking Build Settings. Check whether your face filter scene has been added to your scenes in Build window. Choose your desired platform, whether that's iOS or Android, and build your app. Once you build the app, go to the face filter demo. You can see that a new button has been added to your menu with the new face mesh. Press it and try your mask live. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you have fun creating your own face filters. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.